Hey, my name is Ronan and I just turned 40 this year. Last August was my birthday and yeah, I turned 40 years old. And society has a lot to say about the age 40. For some reason, it's like this magical, scary age where all of a sudden you're like this different person just because you went around the sun one more time. And I want to make 40 videos, 40 lessons about what I've learned in life as a 40-year-old man. And I want to share those lessons with you because I think I could save you a lot of trouble and a lot of time if I can teach you what I've learned in 40 years in 40 videos. So today we're going to start with lesson number 1. And I think lesson number 1 is really important. The first lesson is, how do you view your past? 40 years old, you're not a baby anymore, You've been a mature adult, let's say from age 20 to 40. So half of your life, you've been a child, and half of your other life, you've been an adult. You probably haven't been living at home. Maybe you got married, maybe you have children, you're working, you're living on your own, and you have a lot of decisions to make, and you're gonna have to steer life to where you want it to go. Or life will go wherever it takes you. But if I look back to when I was 20 and you would tell me, Ronan, your life is going to end up here, and showed me what I am today and where my life is today, I would have told you that not in a million years I would have thought that this is who I would be and this would be my life. And I had different ideas of where I would be at age 40, or just where my life would take me, or where I would want to take my life. And, a lot of times you look back, especially at this magical age 40, and you start thinking, did I achieve everything I wanted to? No, I didn't. Have I become the person I wanted to? No, I haven't. And you can look back and see a lot of failure. You could see a lot of, I fell short, I dropped the ball. Because if you're honest with yourself, you'll obviously realize there's a lot more you could have done. Maybe you wasted a lot of time on the way. Maybe you took a left turn when you were supposed to take a right turn, or vice versa. Maybe you even went backwards when you were supposed to go forward, Or maybe you were just running in the wrong direction in general. And now you are where you are. I am where I am as a 40-year-old. And I think the secret to dealing with life in a positive way is to not dwell and grill yourself about all your failures and all the times you did drop the ball and all the mistakes you made. Because imagine I turned 40 and I just sat down and I just started to ponder all the mistakes I've made. How did I end up here when I thought I was going there? How did I do that? And why didn't I do that? And I would have just filled my mind with such negativity that it would totally cripple me, and it would paralyze me from going forward and living life in a successful way. So I'm okay with the fact that I'm a human being. I always think to myself, I'm very good at being human. We don't get upset at ourselves because we have to use the bathroom. Human beings have to go. It's part of being human. It is part of the human condition. And just like we don't get upset at ourselves for having to use the bathroom, part of being human is making mistakes. Part of being human is temporary defeat, is quote unquote failure, is dropping the ball. I mean, look at anyone who's ever done anything. Has anyone ever never dropped the ball? Has Michael Jordan never turned over the ball or missed a shot? If he would have just focused and zeroed in and put all those times he did turn the ball over in the spotlight of his life, what would it do for him moving forward? It would just be something that would hinder him. Of course, he probably learned from those mistakes. He probably asked himself why he turned over the ball. All of it was just so he could become better in the future. None of it was just for itself. It was a ladder for him to get to a higher place. And sometimes to step on that ladder to success, each rung is another time you drop the ball. Each rung is another time you failed or you made a mistake. And to get higher on that ladder, it's when you learn from those mistakes. Every time you look back and you see a mistake and you try to ask yourself, without getting emotionally involved and beating yourself up, Why did I make that mistake? Why did I take a left when I was supposed to take a right? Maybe I had a fear of failure, and maybe that prevented me from approaching or pursuing something I thought was where I really wanted to go. So now look back and say, yes, I acknowledge that I made a mistake. I acknowledge that I have this issue. That's the rung of the ladder that I have to step on, learn from, strengthen myself in that area. So now I could take a step up and use that rung, use that failure as a stepping stone to the next level, to a higher level. So as a 40-year-old, all of a sudden it hits you. Boom, you turned 40. Where are you in life? Where are you compared to where you should be? How many times did you turn the ball over? How many shots did you miss? And there were a lot. And guess what? It doesn't bring me down. It doesn't get me depressed. It doesn't get me even sad. It brings me to a point where I can look at what I did wrong, assess it, learn from it, so now I could try to take a step in the right direction to the future. So I think turning 40, if I didn't have this mentality of learning from my failures, not taking them personally as an indication of me, myself being a failure, I don't know how I would look on my 40th birthday. I'd probably want to jump off a building. But because I have an attitude which allows me to look at my failures in a non-personal way, in a way that I want to grow and learn from. So I didn't have a hard time turning 40. I didn't have a hard time confronting all those mistakes, confronting those turnovers, confronting those times where I missed the target, because I'm human and it's okay. And we're all going to make mistakes. The question is not if we'll make mistakes. The question is if we're going to learn from those mistakes. So as a 40-year-old, my first piece of advice to you is learn how to properly look and process your past. You're gonna make mistakes no matter what you do, no matter what your job is. So learn how to look at the past, especially when you get older in life and time is winding down. Learn how to properly process your past. Never use it to hurt you. Never use it to put you down. Always use it as another rung to get higher today and tomorrow and next week and next year. When you look at your past the right way, that's your ticket to creating the right type of future that you really deserve. So that's lesson number 1. Join me on this journey. 1 down, 39 to go. Please, if you enjoyed this video, if you gained from it, please subscribe. I want to share these videos with you because I don't think that these lessons should be kept here. I think they should be put out there in the world for other people to learn from. And if you don't subscribe, this will probably be the last time you ever see me. So have a good life. I think it'll be better with me in it because we'll learn a lot together and we'll get to that top rung of the ladder of success.